Hello, everybody, or anybody, the one person. So I wanted to do maybe a quick kind of walkthrough of the Marchetti Tarot. You get this box, and it comes wrapped, and I actually unwrapped this in another video, which I'll link down below. And a pull tab. Excuse me. And you know what? Sorry. I'll be honest. I actually didn't really see any of the pictures really before I purchased this and kind of wanted to be surprised. And you know what? The more I have gone through it, I'm really shocked at how much I really enjoy these images. First off, this edition, because I think there's another edition and it comes with like silver or gold. Like I kind of mentioned in my last video, I didn't really watch too many of them because I just wanted to get it anyway and then figured I'll just wait until I get mine. So I think the purple is something new, which is amazing. I love this color. There's some more purples and other colors I really enjoy. I wonder if this is just gonna, like, maybe this will be a new thing. I really hope so, because I just love that. But I love gilding anyway. I know there's actually a lot of people that don't love it. I don't know. Maybe being, superficial like I am, or artsy, that really makes a difference. So this doesn't come with a book, or with a physical book. You can go to Ciro's website, which I can link below, and I'll show some on the screen, hopefully, if I get it figured out. So you can download the book, even if you don't have the deck. It's a free download on his website, which is actually kind of nice, because you, let me see, I don't think, excuse me. Oh, you do. You do get full images in the digital book. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so if I can get this to show up on screen, this is kind of what you get, a little PDF, and then you can download it, save it, and click on whichever card you want to look at. And there's also, you know, the intro part and the, let me see who the author is. Yeah, Lee Burston. There he is. Author of Tarot of Dreams Guidebook and the Marseille Tarot Companion, Zodiac Tarot, and Gay Tarot for Lo Scarabeo. He contributed to Ciro Marchetti's Gilded Tarot Royale and Gilded Reverie Lenormand Expanded Edition. And there's some other stuff about him. So that's awesome. And, you know, I actually really enjoyed what he was writing. Yeah, I really enjoyed what he had to say. So that part's really good. It's not super in-depth, but it's not bad. And then something else, I know a lot of people don't like super shiny cards. I don't really have a preference if it works with the deck. I don't find these difficult to, I mean, yeah, they don't slide around too bad. I do like matte cards, but I think for this deck, the gloss finish is fine, and I don't feel they're uncomfortable. I have not even shuffled these yet, because when I get a deck, I just have to keep them in order for a while, and I'll probably shuffle them today, because I've just, you almost get this urge to shuffle the cards. It's like therapeutic. Then I'll shuffle them like probably 50 times, if not more than 50. So I have not shuffled these yet. So I guess we can go through the majors. And I'm sorry if my light gets in the way. I'll try to fix that. But like I said, I do like the gloss, and I will say, I don't know if you can tell, and I'll try to show more cards. The images, the image quality is amazing. It's almost like looking at a digital screen. The colors are super crisp, and I'm I'm really shocked at the quality, like how it was printed, just the color. It pops. It just really pops. It's very vibrant. And I think with the gloss, that probably enhances the vibrancy of those colors. So I don't mind gloss. So it's, especially for this kind of deck, it's very, very bougie, I guess. Very vibrant. That's all I can say. And in my unboxing I kind of talked a little bit more about something that's different with this deck. And there's more, they talk about it too. That's why I'm talking about it. It's not that I'm saying, oh, somebody older, that's not normal. They actually, in the book, kind of talk about his decision to make some of the character representation more mature. And I kind of talked about that in my other video. Like with the Fool, you think of someone who is younger and just starting out. And he kind of goes into the idea that anybody can be in the Fool's position no matter how old. And maybe such for this Fool, for example, could have had a steady career, could have been doing something completely different. And because of a life change, he's back to that starting fresh, starting new. And you can kind of see the wear and tear in his face just a little bit, but he's still going. And I mentioned that's with how society and globally how everything is now, there's probably a lot of people at every age in this position right now. Unfortunately, I work in healthcare, so my hours aren't affected, but it's a bittersweet moment. So there's the Fool. And I can find it in the book. We don't want to go through the whole entire book because you can actually download this yourself and see what you enjoy about, if you're interested, what he has to say. So when he says our Fool invites us to consider the range of meanings from positive to negative and tension between them. So I like that. It's very interesting. So here's the Fool card. I hope you can see just the vibrancy of that color. It's so nice. And then, of course, there's the backs. Very nice. The Magician, very, someone a little more mature, which is fine. He's got everything he needs. And some symbolism. This is his hand. I think in the book, if I can find it here, he's asking or saying, yes, if I can do it, you can too. Which is great. And then here it is. Here's the part he's talking a little more about. While prior decks use youth to symbolize naivete or inexperience, age can be used as well to represent emotional maturity, wisdom, and capability. And the High Priestess, and this is very pretty, and she's super pretty, which doesn't matter, in my opinion. She looks like she's got her stuff together. She does look like that wise woman that even when you're at work, Laura, Kathy. Oh, there we go. I had a boss named Kathy. Oh, wonderful woman. Kind of looks like her just with longer hair. You go to her because, she's understanding. She's always got something to say from prior experience to help you out. I do like that. And like I said, I won't go through the whole book. I was wanting to read more before I did this, but I try to read the whole thing, and then I don't retain any of the information. So we've got an owl in the book, the pomegranate, 2 owls, the crown of candles, and the Torah, I would assume, the representation of the Torah or the knowledge. There's a book and a Torah, so I guess you can look at it either way. It says something about water. We see sunlight shining on dark water, suggesting sunrise or sunset. Water signifies emotion, deep feeling, and the subconscious. We may also relate it to Jung's concept of the collective unconscious, a vast sea of instincts and archetypes that shared by all humans. And there's that. The Empress. This is very pretty, and it's a younger representation, but you've got, you know, the world, life, and she's got the world in her hands. I like that. Sorry for the glare. That one's kind of self-explanatory. I really like that card. The Emperor. Very statuesque persona. Very opposite, kinda. You know, and you see a lot of couples, and I know they're not exactly per se supposed to be together. I don't know. I was reading more about, I'm still in the first, 10 years of the beginner phase. Actually, literally, it's probably going on 10 years, and I'm still periodic times of learning. Anyway, sometimes the opposites attract, and you can, I bet they have a lot to talk about. Anyway, he's a little more stout, black and white. Let's see what, I kind of read through this yesterday too. I do like the difference between here's the color, here's the black and white. You know, when you think of something a little more masculine and stuck in their ways, things are either black or white. I don't think that's the main representation here. I think in the book he kind of talks about he's only half in color, the other half is black and white. The Emperor's reality, the colorful upper half of the image is based on a foundation of rational thoughts, plans, and laws represented by the black and white lower half. So there's more to that. I'm not going to go too much into the book. I say that as I go into the book, but yeah, I like that aspect of, when you think of a solid foundation, it's either black or white, no gray in between. There's a lot of gray in between. It definitely has that representation for me. In the Hierophant. Now, I did talk about in my video, I don't care, and a lot of people don't. And in one hand, I wonder why artists still portray the Hierophant like this when most readers don't really care for this representation. However, after going, because my first video was kind of a first impression, so after kind of going through some of these, not all of them, but most of them, and thinking about it, like, I love his expression. Excuse me. I will say, he makes me think of that religious figure that even if you're not in that religion, he still enjoys talking to you, if that makes sense. Like, I'm sure most everybody kind of grew up in maybe that church setting, and with part of my family, I still go to church and on holidays and partake in some of that. It's kind of fun. The past year at the church that we go to always reiterates that he is not religious. He says, when you meet a religious person, you get that stiff feeling. He's like, I'm not religious. I have a relationship with, insert Christian religious figure. But very laid back person. Obviously, it's one of those people that used to not have their life together, then got their life together, and went down that path. And they're very open-minded and understanding. And I do kind of see that with this card. He does look like he's in it to win it. I don't know. That he's very, very devout. He's got a very kind face. He doesn't look judgmental. And then it's a good representation of the, the archetype, the religious foundation. So I have changed my mind on that one. Then we have the Lovers. Let me scooch down this book here in case there's anything I need to see. And this is very nice. And you've got cherub, heart. I like that. Not much. Not much. I guess I can say for this one. Looks very nice. She's a dancer. I don't think I read too much about this one. Some cards that I already kind of have a really good understanding-ish of the meaning. I probably just skimmed through it. So I don't think there's too much extra on that. So I'll just kind of rush through that one. There's so many. I think I'm still kind of learning about this card too, because there's so many different representations. Sometimes you got the two people. Sometimes they have the third woman, and the what is it, the burning bush, and there's so many different representations of this card. I think it's one of those I kind of put on the back burner. I mean, they're performing, it looks like, on stage. So this one I might have to sit with because I wonder what I can get from that. I do. The artwork is very nice, and you got this Ciro Marchetti's. It's a fun game to go through all the cards and find where he put his signature, because he puts in some very creative places. Actually, really neat. And the Chariot, I do like this one. Right off the bat, here is a battle-hardened warrior. His determination and drive for survival and victory symbolized by a chariot drawn by two horses, one black and one white. The image here is more abstract than literal and relates more to the charioteer's state of mind than an actual charioteer driving an actual chariot. So, almost as if, if this is, this is him, maybe like when we see in a movie, here's the warrior, the charioteer going into battle, and then we see like little flashbacks that kind of drive him forward. Or when they're kind of beaten down and you think, oh no, they're going to give up or they're done. And then you get the flashback of something in their life, their experience, or they're even a flashback of the whole reason they're in battle to begin with, and they get that last bit of drive. And yeah, I like that, actually. That's a nice way to think about it. And there's the Chiro. I was like, again, I actually even looked up how to pronounce Chiro's name, and everyone says it's Ciro Marchetti, the CH. I'm so worried about pronouncing that wrong, because, even my name is pretty simple. People, well, they don't mispronounce my name. It's one of those names that makes you think of other names, so people just call me by a complete other name. So, and the Strength card, which is beautiful, very traditional. I do like, now that I look closer at this card, because like I said, I kind of skip out a little bit on cards, and I only got this a couple of days ago. So I love this shaman representation there. You can see, I think that's kind of the idea. What does the book say about interactions between humans and non-humans on the moon maiden appears with a dog. Oh, that's a different one. We see the ultimate human/animal interaction. The woman seems to be either riding the lion or is actually part of him. Interesting. She appears to be part of an indigenous culture which kills and uses animals, but which also honors and respects them. Oh, yes, that's nice. Like, Avatar. I know, hopefully you're not vegan. I'm not going to go too much into that, but like Avatar, watching that when he kills kind of his first animal, but he also says a prayer over it and thanks it for providing sustenance for them. That makes me think of that. As far as strength goes, I can definitely see that in that card. The Hermit. And then you can see the face in the lantern. So he even says in the book he's focusing more on the lamp. But, that would be the Hermit. The Hermit himself actually does appear as a small figure traversing a floating road. Oh, yes, right here. So there he is. Hopefully you can see these. So the lamp is more abstract. I shouldn't read too much of the book because I said I'm not going to, and then I continue to do it. I'll be honest though, the art fulfills what it needs to. It's not my favorite Hermit card. I really relate to the Hermit. I think that's my birth card, ironically, because I am kind of the definition of a hermit. Besides work, all this stuff going on right now with the virus and everything, I have not had to change anything about my life besides working. But the card serves its purpose. I do like it. It is a very good representation of the card. And the artwork, the color is very nice. So leave it that. The Wheel. This is one card. I don't know. When you learn a bunch of cards and then you kind of put some on the back burner because you don't exactly understand them completely. This is kind of one for me. Or not that I don't understand them completely, just that there's so many ways to look at it because it's such a big card, which all of the majors are. From what I know of other representations and the traditional, I think it fulfills its purpose. You get your astrological signs here in the center, and you've got your animal representation. I like that. Justice is very nice. So you can see you got your scales. No blindfolds. But you've got the shadow and her eyes are shut. So, it's still, Justice is still blind. So, and it says, and she holds her dagger as a representation of authority. And again, not my favorite Justice card, but still beautiful. I mean, saying my favorite, I mean, it's still very nice. I really like that. Now, the Hanged Man, I really enjoy this artwork. I enjoy his other ones too. I actually have the Legacy of the Divine next to me because I was going to compare cards to it and I completely forgot. And also, I did mention that I did not care for this cardstock. And you know what the problem is? Because I got the Everyday Witch Tarot, which is pretty much the same cardstock. And I enjoy that quite a bit. I think the problem is I tried to back these with contact paper, and that was not a good idea. Or I did it wrong. I took these out not that long ago. So, and the cards have warped. I probably will replace... Oh, I shuffled them. That's why. Because I have to shuffle my cards. It's therapeutic. So, this is the Legacy of the Divine. And you can see the card size. So, these are a little bit bigger than I think these are the Llewellyn cardstock. But I really enjoy this one too. This one is very nice. So, I mean, oh, look at the card quality too. yeah, I really enjoy this image. It really gives me everything I need for this card. Uncertain if I like on a lot of them that they're not just like in the Eight of Swords. They're not exactly, they're able to get out of the situation. So that's what makes it think it's more of a voluntary state of mind. Although being a jester, yeah, performer, you would think that this character can get out, can get out of handcuffs, kind of like that magician, like literal magician type of feel. I don't know if, and a dancer unfolds motley suspended by 1 foot from ribbons. Yeah, so seems to be voluntary one, of course. He's performing. I see, okay. But this artwork is very nice. I really enjoy that one. Oh, the Death card. Obviously a somber card for some people. This color is beautiful. Am just, my love of purple is reawakening. Just gorgeous. I don't know if I read it in the book, and but the first thing I always think of this, I think with the Death card, that memento mori, or remember mortality. I bet you they said it in the book. I can't see it now. Obviously, it's not the physical death, and it's almost kind of like one of those things where, like with the remember mortality thing, some people kind of waste time away, like I do. And the older I get, the more that freaks me out, because, time is really getting shorter and shorter. And the older I get, the more I feel it, that the days feel shorter, years come and go super fast. So that's kind of something, for some reason, I get that with this card is, and maybe for the end of things, like, you're kind of doing odd and end things, you need to kind of wrap that up and get moving on to the next. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing that, time is super valuable, and it gets more valuable every day. So the more you can move past certain things and start fresh is great. And this is beautiful. And I think she's just she kind of has that young / mature look about her. And and sorry for the glare, that's going to be annoying, I'm sure. And you got kind of all your symbolism, the astrology and the rose. See if I can't find Ciro's signature. We won't worry about that. So that's that. And we got Temperance, which is very, I would say, very, very traditional. You don't have the 1 foot in, 1 foot out down here. Oh, what is it? It's just giving examples. It does have quite a bit in the book about temperance. And again, that's kind of one of those cards that, especially with some of the newer decks, there's so many different representations that trying to relate it with traditional or very traditional, like what it should be, like I think that a hermaphrodite aspect of it, I don't see that here. This is very feminine. But I think, all the symbolism you need. I really like this image. Not my favorite, but it is what it should be. You got the hot and cold, fire and ice symbolism there. So we'll move on. And the devil. And I kind of talked about this in my first video too. Like I said, I'll link that below if you can find where I talk about it. And he kind of talks about he didn't exactly want this to be scary. It's more sinister. I just noticed I like how he like he's offering you this key, like, ooh, you need the key. And the chains come with it. Re-looking at that, that's that's pretty, oh, there it is. Signature, that's rare. Yeah. I do like that idea. Say, here's something you want, but the chains come with the deal. You've got the fine print. And he talks more about all of this. Oh yeah, the idea he wants him to be more sinister and not exactly scary, which, I mean, for some people, that's gonna be scary. So I really like this artwork. I really like it. You can kind of tell with the color palette that it is sinister, but for some people, inviting too. So I do like that. The Tower. So another card with the face. It's a traditional image he mentions, and then what does he say here? The Tower represents our own view of ourselves as wise, experienced, and capable. Of course, just as we've settled into the fascist complacency, the lightning strikes and we find ourselves once again hurtling to the ground. So yeah. What was I going to say? I always like to think about, I mean, everyone likes to think about this card as, you know, the foundation wasn't solid and you're getting a chance, and not a chance, but you need to rebuild. It would rebuild something a little bit stronger than it was. So I like that idea. Also, I always kind of think, you know, your pipes are leaking in your house, and maybe you've ignored it for too long. So yes, it's not a good thing that everything kind of blows up in your face, but it's also a good reminder that you should take care of things before the tower. So, and he talks a little bit more about it in the book that you can get without having to buy the deck. I think we're all in a tower moment probably right now, so I won't talk too much about it, and this is probably going to be really long. And then the Star. I think, and that's what I liked about the Legacy of the Divine, is that in the Star, I'm assuming this is the Tower right here, because in the Legacy it kind of shows the Tower, or the Star, right after the Tower, and this is the aftermath of rebuilding, and I really enjoy that part of it when you connect the two, and the colors are very nice. So yes, this happened. It's unfortunate, but this is the ultimate result, and it's all right. It's going to be fixed. And you got his there, and this is a beautiful card. I really do like this. The Moon, very. I wonder, because here's the sun. Yeah, those kind of look good together. The moon is beautiful. It has everything you need. I don't know about that representation there. Oh, okay. A long-standing association between the Virgin Mary and the moon in Christian iconography. This association has been interpreted in different ways. Like some other Christian symbols, it may be a remnant of pre-Christian religions, in this case referring to the virginity, fertility, and changing seasons. There's quite a bit there in the book. I won't go too far into it. You get everything you usually get with the moon interpretation. Yeah. It's a little different, because I think, that's the moon. That looks more like the world in a way. And, I do kind of get that sense as things aren't what they seem. Maybe this is a beautiful card. I love the art. As far as the correlation between this art and the moon card, I don't think it's as in your face, which I have found the more I get to know what the cards mean. You don't always want that interpretation in your face. You pick a deck for a reason, you read with it for a reason, and whatever you get out of it is for a reason, if you believe in that sort of thing. So, yeah, I have to spend some time with that card too. That's kind of another card that, and because there's so many different representations, it took me a while to kind of understand what the actual meaning would be, and then you kind of build off from there. And the Sun card, I don't know about. I've never really cared for the baby part. So I don't know who that guy is. Louis? Louis who, he says. Louis, the King of France. Oh, known as the Sun King. Oh. Reigned for 72 years. Okay. That makes sense. So, I do love this artwork. I think you can probably get, I did read some of these symbols that he puts. It may not be in the mass market because they're a little more alchemical, I think. So I'm not sure, but there's more that you can read about that one. And Judgment. That's very different. I'm realizing I didn't spend very much time with some of these other cards. And I'm kind of looking at the book as I go. Judgment. Sure. I'd have to sit with that one for a little bit and read. I think it's kind of a difference between the full-on Christian. Okay, so I haven't read this, but okay. I think that's probably the gates of heaven of some sort. So you got the trumpet being blown. Judgment, the traditional Christian image of an angel blowing a trumpet, drawing the dead from their graves, is abandoned in favor of a more direct metaphor. A hand reaches upward from below, grasped by another hand that reaches down from above. Below, a dancer is impelled upward by an unseen force. So above and below. The significance of the moment is underscored by the whirlpool of clouds. Okay. So there's a little bit more there we can get into. The traditional Judgment is not my favorite. So I could probably work with that one. And the World is beautiful. Let's see. Oh, okay. I see this here. This is kind of another card that I'm still working with. Now I can see kind of like the galaxy. Hopefully you can. I'm looking at it. I'm not looking. Or I'm looking at the card, not pushing it up. I can see, I mean, you have everything you need traditional wise. And then the World Dancer is here shown in close-up. Her hair is done in braids, forming an almost almond shape. She holds 2 scepters or wands, and above her head are the 4 creatures who are standard for this card. Behind them floats the earth. All these symbols are seen in traditional versions, with the exception of the earth. So that's very nice. I do like that card. Yeah, that's very nice. And like I said, you can download the book. Yeah, the artwork is very nice. The colors pop. So that's the majors. And then I think I'll kind of spread out the minors a little bit and we can look at those.